Right, how are we gonna do here? This is like my third attempt filming this video this morning. Now the sun has come out and it's super bright, but here we are. Hi guys, I thought we'd do a little chatty video this morning. Aled has taken the boys out to football and then to go swimming. So I have a rare quiet morning to myself and I thought we'd have a little catch up. I went to video it and then the battery was dead, so we've just charged the battery up and done a bit of cleaning, and now I'm going to sit down and chill with my coffee and chat to you. So sorry about last week, we didn't do a video. It was half term. Can't remember what happened now. Time just flies, doesn't it? But the Monday and Tuesday we went to visit my mum and I was feeling a little bit under the weather. By Wednesday I felt really rotten. It was just a cold, but I just had no energy. Obviously the boys were at home, so it was a full-on week and I just didn't have a minute or any inspiration to film. So that was why we missed last week. But I am, like I said, going to try to be consistent with this every Monday. So I had a few questions in the previous video or the one before, so I thought we'd have a little chat today and I'd update you on like life for me, and please ask any questions that you have while I'm chatting, but grab a cup of tea and let's get talking. So first I just wanted to talk to you about where I've been. I touched base on this, but obviously I had like October, November, December, January, February, like 4 or 5 months where I didn't film. And I think it was partly due to the transition of just having Alfie and getting used to having 3 children and just juggling everything. But I feel like we haven't connected for a while and I had a long time off filming, so that's why I wanted to make this video. But yeah, really it was, I always find the baby newborn stage quite easy. Now, I'm not a pro. I technically have only had 2 newborn stages, having twins and then the singleton, but I've just loved it. I absolutely love the newborn stage. I find that they sleep loads, they eat and they sleep, and you're just in this like happy place. Obviously I haven't experienced colic and I've been lucky that my children have all slept really through the night. They've just woken up to eat, so I feel like I've had an easy time with the newborn stage, but I've loved it. Now when they get to crawling and standing and eating, life becomes way harder. And yeah, Alfie reached that, I guess October was when we started weaning, and then when did he start crawling? Like last month, the month before? I feel like he's just developing so quickly now that I've lost track of all time. No, it must have been January he started crawling, but he got really fussy. I'd say like October to December he was very noisy and it was just very hard to film, and then that was it. Up until like October he wasn't really in a routine. He would just sleep and wake and sort of do his thing, and then October time, 6 months time, he clearly came onto like 3 naps, and I find the nap juggle hard. I'm not very relaxed with like just napping on the go, and I feel like I need to be organised with it, and I am trying. I said to myself that I would try harder with Alfie to sort of let him be that baby that just sleeps on the go or fits into our life, but I'm finding that really hard. I feel like I plan around him and I just can't help that. I did it with the boys and I think I'm doing it again, but maybe a little bit more relaxed this time. But yeah, I just struggle to let him slot into our life, which I know that's what you're supposed to do, but I plan around his sleeps. So yeah, that is why we took quite a bit of time off. I was just finding it hard to juggle everything. I still am, to be honest. I think I always will. And that leads me on to the question that somebody asked me about my perspective of having a singleton after twins, which I'll touch base on in a bit. But yeah, we started weaning Alfie around October time. He is not anywhere near an eater like the boys were. The boys were very easy. Now I look back, they loved food. They would sit in their high chairs. We did baby-led weaning with them pretty quickly because I tried purees and they just weren't having it, and they much preferred to feed themselves. Alfie has not been like that. He doesn't really like sitting in the high chair. He wants to get out of the high chair all the time. When I try and do baby-led weaning, he literally launches the food across the room or gives it to the dog. So I'm spoon feeding him most of the time, but he's just not bothered. He eats stuff. He loves yogurt. He loves like a big chunk of baguette or bread. And he loves like the odd snacky foods, but to be honest, like he's here or there with it. Like, he's just not that bothered, and it's hard because I remember with the boys, like anywhere we went or anything we did, I could just give them snacks, give them food, and they'd be sorted. But with Alfie, no, not quite the case. So I'm finding that quite difficult. And yeah, now he's on a solid routine, has been since October. He's recently dropped down to 2 naps, solidly on 2 naps now. He goes to sleep about 9:30 till 11, and then again at about 2:30 or something till 4. But that varies actually. Like today he went back to bed at 8:30 because he was just yawning and miserable, and it's 10 and he hasn't woken up yet. So I do play that by ear, but it's very hard with the boys' school drop off because I'm not home until about 9:15. So school days he really has to stay up. It's difficult with the school pickup because then he needs to be asleep right when I pick them up from school again. So we make it work one way or the other, and he has to have short sleeps or go to bed earlier or whatever it may be. But yeah, I think that's it with Alfie. He has just this week learnt to climb up the stairs. We don't have stair gates yet, so that is really frustrating, and he is standing up on things and like letting go with one hand and balancing. So he's very on a mission to start walking, I think. And yeah, so somebody asked me my perspective of singletons after twins. Honestly, I have absolutely loved having one baby. I feel like, I don't know whether this is having a second child though, more than having a singleton. Once you've been through it before, you know what to expect, and there's an element of just being way more relaxed and being able to enjoy it more. I feel like with the boys, sorry, I keep saying the boys. For anybody that doesn't know, the boys is my first 2, which were twins. They just consumed that first year for me. Like, I didn't have a clue what I was doing, everything I was learning, and really I just lived for their milestones. And with Alfie, the year has just gone. Like, he's 5 weeks and he's going to be 1, and I feel like I've got like 10 photos of him compared to like millions of the boys. So that is sad in some respects, but also just nice because I have been so relaxed with him. I can't tell you when his first tooth came, I can't tell you when he first rolled. All those things are just, they sort of just happen, and life carries on, and you can't remember the dates because you're just so busy. But yeah, he's been a joy. It's been so nice having one baby. I feel like I've enjoyed him more. But then there's that element of like, I'm so busy with the other 2 that I don't have as much time for him. So I don't know. And I don't know whether I would have been even more over the top if I had one, my first pregnancy. Like, I feel like I was so in deep water with 2 that I just had to get through it. I don't know, it's so hard, isn't it? Because you're never going to know how it would have been another way. But I am so glad that I've experienced having Alfie. He's been such a blessing, and to be honest, he has not been hard in any way. The hardest thing for me has been me learning to juggle 3 children. It's not been having another baby that's been hard. It's been doing all the things to the point that I want to do. Like, I want to spend time with the boys, and I want to play with them when they get home from school or on Saturday morning. I want to go and help them build a tower with their blocks, but a lot of the time Alfie needs me, and that has been what's hard. I felt like I haven't been able to manage my time and split my time, and then when I do have the time, sometimes I'm just like depleted, and I'm like, I need some time for me, and I want to just sit and have a coffee and chill. So I'd say that has been the hardest thing. And I do feel like he's still a baby, and there's a lot of time that he needs me, and I just don't have much time other than sorting the children out. So moments like this, when Alid has them, it's like, what do I do? I've got 2 hours to myself. What do I do? And I almost don't know what to do. It's weird. But yeah, for anybody that maybe has twins and they're unsure about wanting another one, I would 100% say yes, in my view. I'm so glad we made the decision, and it wasn't an easy decision. So yeah, my answer would be, you're never going to regret having another baby. But I think you could regret not having one later on. Okay, so I think that's everything. I hope I answered that. It's very hard to answer it. And if you have any more questions, please ask. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was just the new year. I mentioned New Year goals, but I don't think we ever talked about them. But I always find January very difficult, guys. January is just like a very annoying month, isn't it? I know everybody says this, but it's a long month. The weather's not great. You've got a real come down from Christmas, or at least I do. I feel like that build up to Christmas is so intense, and it seems to get more and more intense every year. And I love it. I love November, December, and the excitement and this build up to this big day. And then it's always like, it's a good day, but it's the build up is better than the day. And then suddenly you wake up on the 27th, it's like, oh. And I was ill this year as well, but I just find it like very depressing when it ends. And as I've got older, I do enjoy a new year and a new start and cleaning everything up and getting rid of all the Christmas stuff, but I still find January hard to motivate myself. I hate the weather, I hate the cold, dark days, and there's just not much to look forward to in January, is there? I'm sorry if you have a birthday in January, that is at least something to actually make it more fun. Once the weather starts getting a bit brighter like this and the days seem to get a little bit longer, I get very excited for spring. And now that I've got children, life does seem to go a lot quicker, so I'm trying not to focus too much on like my favourite times of year, because I just don't want the year to pass so quickly. But I do find January very hard, and February, to be honest, and sometimes March, depending on the weather. But yeah, I definitely feel like I have a bit of a come down from Christmas, and that lasts like the whole of January, sometimes February. So going on to like New Year goals, what's the other word people use? I don't like saying goals. I can't think of it right now, but aspirations, maybe? It's just to enjoy myself, not put pressure on myself to do too much, just enjoy this year. The boys start school in September, so I've made a pact to really, really enjoy having them. Mondays and Thursdays are their days off preschool this year up until September, so I just want to really take time to enjoy them. Those days I sort of write off just to be with them and take them places and do fun things, and then the other days I'm trying to spend time with Alfie and do stuff for me. And that is one of my ambitions this year, is to do more stuff for me, actually go out and do stuff. Last weekend I reached out to some friends and said, who wants to go and see Bridget Jones? I never make the first move to do stuff, and I just assume people are going to be like, no, I'm busy with the kids, busy with the family. They all were like, yes, 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 thank you for mentioning it, thank you for organising it. And we went on a Sunday at midday, and it was great. And I'm trying to do more stuff like that. I think it's actually more me that stops myself doing it. I feel like there's a lot to organise to leave the house, to leave Alid with all the kids, sort out what he needs to do for the day, and he's totally fine to do it. But I put the worry on myself that it's too much, and then if they don't want me to go, I feel guilty about it, and I'm trying to let that go because I need to do stuff too. So I've actually booked in a few things this year where I'm leaving and doing stuff. I'm going with my mum up to London to the theatre, and I'm going with a friend up to London to a flower show. So I've already got those things booked in, and I can't change it, I'm going. So I feel like that is really good for me, and it's something to look forward to too, that isn't with the children, that is just for myself. So very excited about that. And it's very hard to do things just for yourself when you're a mum. You can't just be spontaneous. You do have to plan it in. You do have to make sure that you've got things in place for the kids to be sorted out, and know who's looking after them and where they're going and what they're doing. So yeah, it's not a case of just, I'm gonna go here next week. You have to plan it. The other thing I'm trying to do this year is just to start some new hobbies. I found that like I've kind of forgotten what I even enjoyed doing anymore, because I don't like to do stuff in a rush, so I never do stuff. Because I'm like, I've only got half an hour here or an hour here, and I like to have quiet and calm and like focus on something I enjoy. So I've started reading, as I told you in the last video. I can find snippets of time to do that, and I don't feel like I need too much of like a long period to read. I can read for half an hour, and that's actually very enjoyable. The other thing I've started doing is gardening again. I kind of got into this a little bit when we were living in LA, but now I've got more space to sort of maintain. And don't get me wrong, I have no idea what I'm doing. I have a lot of work to do. The garden needs a lot of work, and I feel like I may never get there with this garden, it needs a lot of work, but I'm just enjoying it. I really love being outside, pottering about. We've got a greenhouse which I don't want to just let sit there and not do anything with. So I'm trying to get in there, and I've started like a monthly membership to a flower club, and I'm trying to grow some flowers from seed. I'm very excited about it, so I will show you all what I'm doing when I get a bit more into it. And then of course I love a bit of DIY, so we're trying to do a bit of painting and a bit of stuff to the house to zhuzh it up, because the house also needs a lot of work. So that is my life with hobbies, and yeah, I am trying to find like snippets of time to do stuff, because I don't have big chunks of time. I don't have full days to go and paint a whole room, but I'm trying to let that be okay and just do bits and pieces here and there. And then last but not least, I thought I'd talk about what I'm looking forward to this year, and that is the sun. Definitely this weather this week has literally changed my mood 100%. I just love the sun and the blue sky. I really miss that about living abroad. Like, it was just every day waking up to that blue sky and that sun was amazing, and I definitely started to take it for granted. But I don't know, we're kind of okay with it now. The weather doesn't completely rule my life, and I've got used to going out in the rain and the wind, and yes, it doesn't make me feel that happy, but when the summer does come, oh, it's the best feeling. So I'm really looking forward to being outside, sunny days, holidays, summer holidays. We've just booked a holiday for the end of August, and the boys are so excited. They actually said today, they've never been swimming, right, in the UK. They've never been to like a swimming pool in a leisure centre. So Alan's taking them today, and Henry's like, is there a house at this pool? So he thinks he's going to like, he's going to be so disappointed, like an Airbnb with a pool, bless him. I'm looking forward to like Alfie's birthday in 5 weeks, the boys turning 5, my birthday in the summer, Alan's birthday. I love birthdays basically. And I'm looking forward to light mornings, barbecues, going to the pub in the summer. A lot of this is summer related, I know, but it's just such a good time of year. So I do feel very excited about things to come. And one thing that happened to me over Christmas was I became very aware of time passing quickly, and I think that was one thing that added to my sadness of Christmas being over. Is like, oh my god, another Christmas gone. You only get so many Christmases with your kids, right? And I was like, another one's gone. I'm just very aware of time passing, and I think that's where I've become better at just embracing the day and whatever weather and whatever we're doing, like embracing it, because really I've blinked and today is March 1st. Like, it's just crazy. Time seems to go faster and faster the older we get, so I'm just trying to slow down and enjoy every day. Today I'm really not doing anything, and I can't wait just to be here, be with my family, go on a dog walk and do a bit of laundry. That is as exciting as it gets today, but do you know what, I'm okay with that. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. I just wanted to touch base with you, let you all know what's going on with me, where we're at, and hopefully I'll be back with a vlog next week. Boys are back in school, which is actually quite nice. We had a really good half-term week actually. It was very slow. We were home nearly every day, but they absolutely loved it. So there's that. I think we put pressure on ourselves to do a lot sometimes, and they really don't need to. So that was good. But I hope you all had a good half term too, and if you don't have children, I hope you had a good week. And yeah, just let me all know if you have any other questions for me, and I'll try and answer them in the comments. But I'll see you next week, guys. Bye.